Testing. Just making sure my mic is working. Let me know if you can hear me. You can hear me? Anybody? Testing. I have to wait for the little bit of delay. Perfect. Great. So it's loud enough. Mic check 12. Okay, so howdy. I'm known as Miss Vix in the virtual world of IMVU. Before I begin, let me remind people I do not work for IMVU. Just like many artists, I use the IMVU platform to express my creative side. Working within the virtual world, I don't claim to be a professional with any of the programs I use. Everyone has their own way of doing things. This is just the way I do them to get the results I want. Everything that I have learned is self-taught or given help and tutorials from people who work within IMVU. So I am sort of giving back now from what I was learnt and taught. Today we're learning how to derive a very first product. I know Blaze said that she's now started creating, I think, since last week, so that is great. Congratulations, Blaze. It's awesome to see you've picked it up, and now you want to derive your very first product. So we shall, he. Oh well, you don't know with these names. He. Okay, that's cool. So today we're going to learn how to derive our very first product, and it doesn't matter what the item is. The process is all the same. Do you have something in mind, Blaze, that you were thinking I should have got that link from you beforehand? We could have used exactly the same item that you were going to derive, but for today we're just going to just pick a random product that I've got out of my catalogue. We're going to say we like this item. A football gamer character. Is that what you want to make? Okay, well, maybe we'll do that for the next lesson, or maybe you'll just have a practice by yourself. But I've sort of set this up at the moment just to run through it really quickly. This is just a simple chair that I have done, and I've textured this one already. But say you like this chair, you bought this chair in the IMVU catalogue, but you don't like it. And as far as if it was Chica, she would literally say, I want this in a very, very bright colour. I want it in a bright orange or a bright green to go with my bright room. That's pretty much Chica all over. She likes everything bright. So what she'll do then is she will go, she'll maybe view products in the scene. If it's in the room, you have to excuse my voice. I've croaky voice today for some reason. Okay, so she's viewed the product in the room. She can then go to this actually product in the catalogue. And what she needs to do then is she will go back to the derived from. You want to keep going as far back as you can so that you will get to the base mesh. You could derive this one. If I was to hit derive product, you could derive this one. And what it'll turn up is, I'll show it now. Let's hope that this works. Yes, the links work today for some reason. They didn't work the other day, but now they work today. Yeah, I know. I think I'm getting a cold. My voice is all croaky. Okay, so you could derive this one. The reason why I personally leave my textured version of my mesh derivable is because I have a lot of maps that people don't like they don't like to texture. So sometimes I'll leave it derivable and people can come along here and they can just change these textures in here. Say they just want the cushions change a certain texture, but they want to leave the wood. Or they want to just change these tassels to be a different colour, but they want to leave everything else the same. Or they've got a pillow that they want to personalise. They could just come in here, go to whatever number that is. You'll have to practice and see what number it is. Let's make sure that I've got the right lesson objective page open. I haven't really set up too much today. Was a little bit rushed. Let's find a texture. Just for example, let's just put a wood texture in there for now, and that's just changed that pillow. You could write on that pillow something, you could bring it into your Photoshop program, you can write on that pillow and you can change it. Then you can submit that product as your own. However, it is going to cost you a little bit more to do this, because this has got my price added on top of this. You want to try and go back to the very beginning product. So you will pay a little bit extra in your credits in order to derive this textured version. So because I've marked this up a little bit more because it's a textured version. If you want to go back to the basic, you'll notice that was, a lot more credits cheaper. So you will actually be able to derive this for a lot cheaper than what you would if you were at the textured version. Now with this, you want to keep going back until you get to either the empty furniture mesh or one of the IMVU products. If you've got to the IMVU products, you've gone too far. Every time a mesher, well, a 3D artist like myself makes a mesh, we have to derive from an IMVU product. Everything is derived from an IMVU product because IMVU gets a cut of any of those sales. Yep, I'm just going to add this. I'll just get to this stage first. We just want to run through how to get to the actual base mesh to derive from. Okay, so here we are. We're at the base mesh. We can't go back any further because the last one goes back to the IMVU. So now we want to go to the very bottom here. First check to see whether the product has any texture maps, so keep that in mind that I've added texture maps there for these little tassels. So I'll come back to that. We want to go down here. We want to hit this derive from product. If this link does not work for some reason, you can just cut and paste, copy this number here. We will try just to start with by hitting the derive from product. See if that opens. It does. Perfect. But say it didn't open, we will go to the Create tab. So you now have a Create tab in here. You hit this Derive from Product link. You will put that number in there, in the product ID, and that'll come up. So then you'll hit Go, and that'll open it up here. We'll just close these off. Right, so we've got the mesh open in here. For you it'll be the football mesh or whatever it is that you were going to make, but in this lesson we're just doing this chair. So for all my mesh, I add numbers along the side here, and that'll correspond with the numbers that are on the actual mesh. Not everybody does this. If you don't have it like this, all you'll need to do is, if you want to know where 0, 0 is, or the very first texture, throw a, let's see if I can find where I was lessons. I think I had some base reference images. No, hang on, just give me a second. I will find what I'm talking about. Here we go. You can find these online, easy, just your checkered pattern. I'll open this up in Photoshop to show you. It was in my project files, desktop. I was supposed to have all this sorted today, but I was running a bit behind and a bit late. So I'll get there. I will get there. Desktop. I will find my project files. I think I named them a different color, that's why. Lessons, that's what. Okay. Yep, just chat amongst yourselves. I'll find this texture that I'm looking for. We're supposed to have them all laid out. Stream 1, that's it. Found it. Images. Okay, so this is the texture that I was talking about. Yeah, you can use other programs. GIMP is probably just as good. I should have probably used GIMP for this one, for the very first product. You can download GIMP easy enough from, just online. Just type in GIMP into Google, and you'll find it. It's very similar to Photoshop. I mean, I know Photoshop is a very big program. It has a lot of stuff involved, but GIMP it does pretty much exactly the same thing. You can look up online for if Photoshop does it. Photoshop has a lot in this program, but for IMVU you really don't need a ton of the features. So GIMP will do it just as good. Now this sort of texture here, if you've got one like this, you can just overlay it on your product to add it in there. So you just click this little edit beside it. You'll find your texture, add it in there, and then hit apply changes. Now you'll notice on here, oh okay, so that there is the 00 texture, and that is the one that, and you can see exactly where things are laid out, and that's the one that you will want to texture first. So you pretty much just grab a texture. Let's just make one. We will make, and we're just going to do some quick textures today, nothing really fancy. So let's go for a new texture, file new. If I bring this over here, 256 by 256. I will explain the difference in sizes in another lesson, but for now we're just going to do some quick textures. Let's make it orange. Let's some bright. That's okay. You can just rewatch it afterwards, no problem. I'm just going to add this. I'm just going to make some really quick textures just to showcase how to quickly make a texture. Duplicate. And we're going to add a bit of pattern overlay on here. We'll find something. With this pattern overlay, I forgot to tell you last week, you got a little scaler that you can scale up and down if you want. So this texture that was made into a pattern is actually seamless, so you can scale down and scale up. Now I'm just going to use that. Excuse me. Just going to use that for now. We're going to multiply this so that it lies it on top. We might actually just put a bit of shadow on out in this glow. We're going to make this dark though. Normal. This looks like a chicker texture. A little not bright enough probably. Okay, so we've got a bit of grain in there and make it look a little bit like material. Let's save this as 256 by 256. Let's save it to my project files. I was a little bit more organized last week, not so much this week. Let's save it to basic series textures. Orange. I hope I've saved that as not a GIF, PNG. I really need a JPEG. $256. Okay, so we go back to here, grab the texture, lessons, textures, and I need this JPEG one, and we're going to place it in. So that'll be your first texture on. Obviously you can't see it because it's hidden behind here. Let's go to a different texture. We might use the same texture as the arm. We might use it for number 13. So we go down here, look for number 13. Not all mesh have this like this, like numbered out. A lot of meshes do have them numbered out like this, so it makes it really easy for you to find. If they do not have them numbered out, you can just throw any old textures in there just to know, you know, what is corresponding. You can have a bunch for yourself, all different colors, so that you can just place them in there, and yeah, it'll show up there what you show on the product, what your color you have on here. So this is pretty much what I'm just going to keep using this texture just for now. I mean, it's not the best texture, but this is just to show you how you change them. We might throw a bit of wood on here. I'm going to start using some of the textures that I've already done, because this lesson wasn't about teaching textures, it was just about deriving your first product and getting it in the catalogue. Notice I'm using my alt account at the moment because I don't want to upload this on my main, so I'm going to upload this on my alt just to show you how to upload it. I'm going to go back to the lesson files. The texture's already done. I'm going to use this wood texture that I already had created. I just created this wood texture with a bit of wood grain on it with pattern overlay. Now I think that might be number 1, so we'll try that number 1. Yeah, we'll just add these in. Number 2. So this is just going, once you've got your textures, you just go through. Number 4, and that was that color, so I might just make this orange, although I really don't want an orange in my catalogue. I might just go back with the colors that I had before. Might change these colors up down here as well. So you're basically just running through, changing the textures to what colors you make. You can make them individually. This one's a bit of a suede texture. I can add something in there. I might just do that in a minute. Number 6, 7, and you've noticed that I've done a lot of different textures for these, so you can add a lot of different your own personal style to this. Now I believe that this one is this texture here, which I want to show you. Yes, it's this texture here. Let's go back to the product. We're going to grab this, save this image. We're going to save it to my project folder like I had before. Desktop, lessons. I'm going to save it in here. We might just save it straight there. We're going to also save this one as well, because we want to take these into our Photoshop program. Open. I'm going to grab these. First product, grab both of those. Open. We don't want that color because I want to take want to grab some of that. I just need the color, the basic color right now, so we're going to use this map. So basically with a texture map, what happens is it's like paint between the lines. That's pretty much all a texture map is paint between the lines. What you see here, this little round circle, is one of these little round circles. Whether it is the top or the bottom, I'm not exactly sure. We can test that right now. We can grab a texture map. I mean, obviously I would know more than about it than what you guys would, because I made the mesh. But for you guys, if you're just starting a brand new product, you won't know what is going where. We might make a new layer to start with. Always make a layer on top. We're going to fill this in to be a very bright color so that we can see what it would be. Fill that in to be a very bright color. Now we're just going to duplicate that because we're going to throw this one down here. I just want to cover this in between these lines for now, just to see what it is, where it is lining up on the actual map. So color overlay, let's change this to yellow, bright yellow. We want to grab a little bit in here, like that. Layer, new layer. I'm going to color this bright, oh, I don't know, it doesn't matter really, green, bright green, like that. And then we're going to do the same over here. Layer, new layer. Change this to, say, a blue, bright blue. What have I done? Bright blue. Okay, so now we've got this. Save this out. Cancel file, save as test. Go back in here. Place this here. Grab that. Okay, so you'll see where I have put the blue, which is here. That is what's showing up here. So all this whole thing is the blue. Then we've got this little tiny line here, which is the green, that little tiny line. A little, don't even ask me where that other red bit is because I can't see. That must have been, maybe that was supposed to be there. Oh, the red's here. See this little dot here? That's the red. Okay, so we got the red dot, which is this part on the map. We have got the green line, which is that part. This tiny little cap here is the yellow, and then the whole blue goes there. You could actually cut this, blue in half so that, to tell where the bit that goes around, but guaranteed, if you throw the map on there, file, save for web device, just like this, the map place, you can pretty much see then how many lines that it's going to go. So the very bottom is a big open spot, and then we've got like 1, 2, 3 lines in there. So this very bottom must be, this part here. Okay, so you've got this. This is a bit of an example, and I usually leave an example in the, or something to overlay. And you'll find this on a lot of clothing. A lot of the meshes, a lot of the clothing for the meshes, the meshes for the clothing will offer you a shading map, something so that, or wrinkle map on their clothing. Or people will add, for furniture or something like that, they'll give you a shading sort of texture on their mesh. So what you want to do is you want to take this, I'm going to make this a little bit brighter, so because it's very, very dark. I don't want it to be that dark. So I'm going to make it a little bit, brighter, maybe a little bit, bring it up a little bit. So if I was to grab a texture, create a whole new texture, file, new texture, 256, I want to pick this color because I want a similar color to what the lounge is. And I'm going to color this, layer from background to make it editable. I'm going to color this that color to be a little bit similar. You could even make it brighter, it's up to you. I'm going to grab this texture map that I was given on the page. I'm going to drag and drop this onto here. Then I'm going to go into the layer properties and I'm going to hit multiply. It's a bit dark, you cannot see it right here, but I'll zoom in. You should be able to see all the little lines and the textures on there. If I made this a little bit brighter, image, or I made the underneath texture a little bit brighter, which is probably a better idea, you'll be able to see it come up a little bit more. So you can see all the shading and everything's in there. So it's sort of like most of the work already done for you. If you didn't have, if the Mesher didn't provide you with a map like this, you would just make it yourself. So you would just grab this map, and you know where these little bits are. This is on the arm, so if you're going to do, you could do whatever you liked on that arm. You could make it whatever color you want. If I just did that particular one just for, for teaching's sake, I could make a little bit of a pattern overlay on that if I wanted to. We could change this to multiply. You can do whatever you like. Inner glow, to give a bit of shading around the edges so that we know it's a little bit darker. Let's move this in a little. That could be, if you wanted that, you just make your sort of own textures doing it that way, which is fine. You can do that. You don't have to use the map provided at all. You can make your own things. Okay, so, and that's what it'll look like on there. Just a little textured dot, but it's up to you what you want to do with that. But for me, I'm just going to show you how to use these texture maps as it is right now. So that's what it'll turn up like. So let's file, say for web devices, we're going to save this out as blue, whatever we want to name it. Sorry, I just had to have a bit of a cough there. Now, change that. Okay, so that turns up like that. You can see it has all the details, the shading, the color on it. I probably grabbed a texture, made it a bit of a, a lot of lines, or it would have been a paintbrush or something that I've made these lines on this map that's provided for you. I would have used a paintbrush or something to make all those little lines. So that just adds sort of shading and that for you. So we'll just keep going here. 9. Textures, where are we? Lessons, textures done. Number 9. Number 10. Just going to run through. 11. 12. And 13. Most times on my mesh, I will add a shading. See this shading underneath here, like a shadow? Now that is optional. You don't have to have that shadow if you don't want to. Say it might conflict with a rug or something that you don't want it to be there. And because it's got blending turned on, sometimes if it conflicts with the rug on the floor might be blending, or the actual floor itself, it might be a reflected floor. And it might conflict with your floor, and you might not like it. And this is, might be the whole reason why you're retexturing this product. You don't have to have this shadow here. If you want, if you turn this blending off though, it'll turn up. It'll disappear. So you don't even have to have that. You can black anything that you want out on a mesh. If you do not want this pillow to be here, I think that was number 5. If I was just to add now where do I find a black texture? Let's just make a black texture, be a lot easier. File, new. You only really need it to be really, really small, really small size. So let's just make that 64 by 64. I could have just pressed black on there, I suppose, but I didn't. Let's black, file. Let's make sure that is properly back. Yes, it is. 00. File. Save the web. Black. Easier than finding my normal black texture that I've got. Okay, so we can grab for this pillow. Would I have that black? Things everywhere. Textures, black. And you add a black texture in here. If I place that black, it'll just make this pillow black. See? Pure black. If I didn't want that pillow there to be at all, I add another black texture in here. And that black will cancel the other black, cancel anything out. So it'll disappear. You can do that for any part of a product. Any part. So I'm not sure what texture slot this was. Let's practice by just putting that in just to see. Okay, that's not the right one. We want to go back here. Texture's done. Put that in. I'm not sure what this other pillow was. I think it might have been a 9 or something. Let's have a look. A 9. 9. So if we wanted to do exactly the same to here, we would go black, black, and now she's got no pillows showing up there at all. The only problem with that is that I've got, well, it's not really a problem either. I've got shading on there. So what was this back colour? Was 7. If I went to number 7 and I turned off the vertex shading, there. See, you don't have shading, vertex shading where the pillow was. You could do the same for these arm things if you wanted to. So you can adjust things the way you want them to adjust. We're going to number 10. And if we turn off the vertex shading for that as well, there you won't see that where the pillows were. So that could be a whole, you know, whole different product if you want it to be. You could remove anything that is not attached to another part of the mesh. If I remove this, if I try to remove this, it'll also remove the seat off the lounge. So, you know, I'll show you that. 13. Let's go to 13. If I remove that, it's going to also remove the part of the, you know, the seat. So that is not going to be, you know, you can't remove that. You can only do bits that that are not attached to the other bits of the mesh. If they're on their own texture file, that's fine. You can remove them because it won't be, you know, it won't affect it at all. Where am I? Texture's done. I think that was a number 13. Let's replace all that in. Delete, apply. Let's brought it back. Let's add this back in. 9, delete. Let's added that pillow back. And let's do the same for, what was it, number 7, I think? I cannot remember, or it was number 5. Number 5. Delete. Perfect, and let's brought that pillow back. This pillow, we can write something on it if we want. Let's make it different than the one I've already got. Open. Lesson files, textures done. Number 5. Where is number 5? There. Let's add some text to it. Layer, new layer. Oh, it's already going to add new text to it anyway. We'll grab here. It's a little bit big. We don't want it that colour, that's for sure. We would like it white or greyish, something like that. Let's change the font of it. Trying to pick a font that I have. There is just way too many fonts that I've added in. Sometimes I wish they were sort of categorised. Let's see. Where's a cool font that I can use? Maybe this one. That's not a very nice font. Don't even like that font. I want to use a, maybe this one. Nope. Don't even like that one. Anyway, this is just by preference. I think I picked the same one there. This is not about the fonts that you pick. This was, you know, trying to find a font in all this mess. I was trying to bring them over from my other computer and it's just brought so many stuff over. Let's do that one for now. It's not the best, but it'll do for now. Let's make it a capitals instead. I don't even like that font either. I need to find one that I like. I want a nice big bold font. Maybe this one. No. Maybe. Anyhow, I don't want to spend all day finding a font. that one will do looks even worse. I think that I'll be able to find a font really easily, but I used to have some nice ones up the top. That'll do. Anyway, we're going back to that same font that we had originally. Let's duplicate that, duplicate. Let's make this chill out. Would have liked to have a bit better font than what I've got, but that'll do for now for this, because I don't want to spend ages doing a font. It's a little bit blue. I don't really want it blue. I want it grey. Let's make this like that. Great. Okay, so got a bit of word in there. File, save. I'm just sort of showing you a bit of wording on the pillow. Words. Grab it here. Change this pillow. Okay, so there's your sofa, there's your lounge done. With some wording on the pillow, you can do whatever you like, of course. You can add a picture, you know, a brush, stencil, any colour that you want. There's your product done. So for me, now this product, before you submit your product, make sure you have an icon ready. An icon for your product is all these little things that you will see here in the catalog. So these icons are like 100 by 80 pixels wide and tall, and this is what people will first see in your catalog, in the whole catalog. If I was to go to, I don't really want to click too much, because the problem is there's no real GA or AP setting, and my accounts have AP, so I don't want to show AP products. I think I accidentally did that last lesson. So I really don't want to click too much into the catalog, because I kind of need an account that's got no AP to do that. Adults only products, that's what it'll be, and I really don't want to show those sort of things. So these are your icons. So I always take an icon straight in here out of the, I mean, you don't have to, you can, I have also a Photoshop room, if I can find it here, all categories, this one here, it's just a plain blue room. This blue room has a lot of different poses in it that I made, so that you can do clothing. Yeah, I would narrow the searches, but the issue is I have to click in them first and then narrow them. So I should have done that before I started the lesson, like I tried to do last lesson, and just a little bit rushed today. Okay, so this particular room has a lot of different poses in it. I made this for, you know, things when I was taking photos of clothing or outfits. It's also got a couple dances, so that I use it when I'm, you know, if I'm building clothing products, so I can figure out whether it is whether the outfit is going through the mesh, just a normal sitting. This one might be for something to do with the mouth open. I've sort of just done a range of products, one with the tongue out. This was for, so I could take pictures of hands if I need to. So I've made this. You can purchase this if you know, or you can derive one of your own or make one of your own. I just sort of made a preview of room for me, for when I want to take photos of products. And the good thing about this is it has the in-client shading and stuff, where the Omni light comes, and I can take pictures of where I want the light to shine in this particular room. So if I turn it around here, now I use a little program always to take my photos. It's called MW Snap. It's a free little program, MW Snap. I think I've got a link here. It'll show you a little bit. If you just search up Google, you can find it. Let's do that. MW Snap. Just search up Google. There you can download MW Snap, free. Just make sure that if you're going to one of these free sites, don't download a heap of crap along with it. Just make sure that it's just that program, and if it's installing, make sure it's just that program. Don't let them install any other silly little things with it. So this is what it looks like, and I've always used this right through. It's always been the perfect little picture taking tool for me, and I've used it all the way through my whole, IMVU creating, and I'll never do without it. I've always got it. So I've got it set to a fixed rectangle of 700 by 560, because if I take that nice big picture, and if I minimize this down in my Photoshop to 100, it'll go 100 by 80. So I'll grab this, and what I might do is actually I'll move in a lot closer just to show a little bit of an image here. So basically you've got a screen here. See this little screen that you can see, and that's what's going to take on your picture or your product. Now for an icon, this is what it'll snap that picture, so it's snapping a picture of it. But we want to get up nice and close, because you don't have to show every little inch of your product. You just have to show the best features of your product. You can show it with someone sitting on there if you like. I tend to want to show off, I might want to show off this actual, pillow to say that it's different. So if I grab just the basics like that, that's all you pretty much need. A nice big, where'd it go? A nice big image like that. You could take two for your icon, and you can double it up. So we'll just save this file, save as, goodness knows where it's going to save it. Let's go now let's go to desktop lessons. Let's save it in here. Basic series, first product. We're just going to name this one, and I really don't care what I name it. We might change our character here to be, I don't know, that character. Put her on, where is she? There she is. I'm going to sit her on the seat so that it shows her sitting. Right, there's the pose. Let's bring it over here. I'm going to snap another picture. Come on, look at me, Missy. Look at me. No, you're going to look that way. Fine. There we go. We're going to take that picture. Snap. Perfect. Right. Save. Make this number 2, because I really don't care about the numbers. We'll open here. We're going to make get rid of all these. Don't need all those. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. You can do the same thing in GIMP, I believe, with animation. I'm not 100% sure, but just Google GIMP animation, and yeah, you'll be able to see that. Where are we on lessons? First product. First, I'm going to grab this one and this one. Open. Okay, so we've got our two products with the ugly blue background. I want to get rid of that blue background, but first we're going to resize this to say, oh, it doesn't matter, we can leave it at that size. I really don't care. Let's make our whole icon this size. So what is this size? 520 image size, 700 by 560, file new, 700 by 560. Let's change this to transparent. And okay, this is a huge big icon. Just to show you, we're going to grab this image. We're going to layer, new layer from background, so that it gets rid of that little secure lock. Now I can move this around. If it wasn't for that, I would not be able to move this, Could not completely, okay. Layer is locked, okay. You need to have, edit, step back. You need to have that undone, so that is layer, new, layer from background, or you can just right click this. Well, right click this one, we'll do this one, layer from background, same thing. Okay, so once we've got this, we want to select color range. I'm going to select this blue. What happened to me? There, select this blue, and that's going to select every single little tiny bit of blue in the scene. You can make it as fuzzy as you like. Be careful how far you go up, because it could take some of the blue out of here, because this looks blue. Make sure that it's not, see how that is bright? That is going to remove all the blue from your product. You just want to take it back so that the item and the product is black and your background is not. So that sort of selected all around there, and you want to go edit, cut, and then you've got your product sitting in there without without any background. Now, I don't know what you want to do for your icons. Everybody has their own unique icons. For me, I always just put it, for my mesh, I have this little thing here that says, mesh or extras, but that's because it's my mesh. I might want to type a little bit here, animate it. I might want to talk about the range that it is. So I've added raft in there for these. And then I've got my little icon, my MV icon. This little thing is your logo. So whatever you start off with, try and start off with an icon that is going to be unique to you. And that'll become your brand name. For every single catalog that I have, let's have a look. Let's go to another one of my catalogs. Same, MV. So this is another one of my catalogs. This is just where I throw all my extras that people request. So MV is on every single catalog product that I own, and I will have that on every catalog page. You scroll down, wait for this to load. Dun, 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 dun. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer to load. Okay, so every single catalog that I have this 2, 3, 4, 5 mainly that I create on. You will see MV, 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 and that is my brand name. And I've taken that across every single catalog that I own. You'll see it on, I think it's even on my bundle page and things like that. So that is my brand name. So you need to find your own unique brand name that'll have you stand out, or everybody recognizes you from the catalog. So let me see if I can go to the main catalog off screen so that I don't show any AP products, because I really do not want to. So we'll go to browse the catalog, go to some furniture, or furniture. You said we've got a thing to turn off the AP or the GP. Chica, I can't see that anywhere on the catalog page itself. I don't have an option to change it to just GA. I hope there's no adult products in here. Let me have a look. Nope, not that I can see of. I know you said that there was an AP or a GA only. I don't see that in here to select. And I was looking for that the other day. It just sort of all this, but it doesn't. You can't turn off AP products if you don't want to on the main catalog page. Not that I can see. Anyway, so I'm just having a look at different people's brand names here. Browse all items. Thank you very much. I could never see that before. See? Thank you. Thank you, Chica. Perfect. So now I'm looking at general release. Thank you. Okay, so what we've got here is this icon here really stands out. Target X really stands out. Their little brand name, and that'll be all his products. So let's have a look at his brand. Let's hope that it's general audience first. Okay, so all his products, he or she, I don't know, has got the Target X on them, and that is his brand name or her brand name. Looks like a female, so her brand name. Now we're going to look at, let's see, Answer would be the same. I'm a bit antsy about having to go to his because I think he does a few. Anyway, you get the point. Everybody has their own little icon brand. Oh, there's mine with the little MV on there. So everyone has their own brand name for their products or their own style of doing it. Some people don't even put their names on it. Some do. So that's a Club Light, and you know, you want people to have a look in the catalogue and go, oh, that's a person that I know. I'm going to buy from that one. And Urbanite, see, hers is hers or his. I better be careful. Pretty much the same. Better GA just in case. She's got a few AP products there. Okay, so see, all her icons are all Urbanite, 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 right? So you want to make some sort of little brand name for your icon. Doesn't matter what it is. For me, it's my MV, and I have a template that I use, and I will find my template off screen because I never know where things are. I'm going to find a template that I used before for one of my raft products. Usually I just grab something from the latest that I had, and then I'll go from there. Raft. Okay, so this is just from Raft that I did, one of the Raft icons. It's just because I like that font. I should have used that font on my pillow because that's what I like, that font. Okay, so it's not a decorated product, so I'm going to get rid of that. Not a decorated. I don't think I need to write on there. Well, it's not really going with the range, so I don't need to write on that. I'm just going to remove all this stuff, and I just basically want to take the out border that I've already got. I might make this, no, I don't want it white, I wanted a different colour, so let's go here. We're going to have a bit of a gradient overlay, a bit like that, just a little bit of shine or something to it. And I've got my MV in the corner. The icons are your own personal thing. You can do whatever you like. You can add shine on it, you can add whatever you want to add, but make sure when you are doing your product, make sure that the product is the thing that stands out the most. No one really gives it, well, I should say no one really cares about your brand name unless, you know, they don't want to see that first. They want to see your product. And the most important thing about marketing is showing the best bits of your product. And it's showing a bit of a teaser, a bit of a, you know, this is what this product is about. So I'm going to take this sofa and I'm going to just throw it in there. It's a little big, so I'm going to image size. I think I've made these icons. I think they're size, I think 400, I think it was, yeah. So image size, we're going to downgrade this 400. Okay, so let's drag and drop this in here. Okay, so this is my product. I could add a drop shadow if I want, just to make it look a little bit different, but you don't want to edit it too much. You don't want to edit your actual product too much. To be honest, I want edit, step back, image size. Let's make this 500 because I really want that pillow to stand out the most. So I'm going to bring that up. Get rid of this. Get rid of all these extra bits that I don't need. Okay, so this is what I've got. Now we're going to add this one on here as well because we want to showcase that there's an actual pose on there. So let's go do the same. We've made it into a layer. Select this background, color range, grab that, edit, cut. Okay, image size. Let's make this 400 because we want to see the whole pose. Again, reduction if you want. I'm going to grab this and throw this on there. So let's click this little eye to hide this for now. And you can see that the product on there. It could probably be a little bit bigger, but just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm not going to muck around with it too much. Okay, so your icon, you have these two pictures on here. We need to cross between the two so that it's a little bit animated. So we go up to this window in Photoshop. We want to go to animation, and you see the little timeline here. I'm going to get rid of these because this was from a past product. I'm going to leave it at 2 seconds. All right, 2 seconds. And then I'm going to add another. I'm hoping that you guys can see this. I'm trying to make it a little bit bigger, but it's pretty small. Okay, so I'm going to add another picture here, and I'm going to hide the other one and add this one. So this is what you'll see in between. You can leave it like that if you like. If I do this forever, it's going to be very fast, and that's a little bit too fast for your icon. You do not want things to be going crazy like that. It'll trigger some people and it'll really annoy them. So I'm going to add a bit of a tween in between. This little button here, it'll give you a tween. I'm going to add five tweens, and I should have clicked on this one instead to do the tween. 5. So that's going to add a gradual process to this next one. Then I'm going to hit the tween again, and I'm going to go to the first frame, add a gradual process to the next one. So what we've got here is it's sort of gradually. You don't have to have it that much tweening. It's probably a little bit too much for this product. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, we'll start again, 2, like that, add, we're going to go maybe just 2, and we're going to do it again, 2, and we're going to make this here to be 2 seconds, this here to be 2 seconds, so that it stops once it gets to each of them. So let's have a go. Play, and it stops on there. Tweens between the next, and it stops on there. So just for out of sake, we're going to go export this. We're going to change this to 100 so that your icon size is 100 by 80. And you need to change this to GIF, because then if you play it in here, it's going to go through the lot. Now, if you notice, your icons are so small, I can't see that chill out. I should have made this pillow image a lot bigger so it just shows that picture. So, argument's sake, I'm going to do that because I don't like to upload a product without it. So where was this image? Right, I'm going to take this off, delete that out, go back to this, where was it? No, checkered map, file, open, nope, file, open, this one, layer, new layer, from background, select, color range, grab this, edit, cut. I'm just going to put this in here so that I'm showing most of the pillow instead. So I'll just minimize that because I might need it later. Add backdrop is not that good today. You can pick a different backdrop. Okay, so we've got this. I'm going to add a new thing, start the icons all again. Eventually, over time, you get so fast at doing these sort of things that it just becomes second nature to what you do, you know, building icons. Some people spend ages doing icons. I don't. I just sort of grab my icons, make sure I'm showing off the most, you know, things a lot better, the actual product. So now we're going to grab it like that. Okay, bye Chica. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to have you on one day to teach about stickers. Chica's going to join us one day to teach about stickers, apparently, so she's going to get some classes done up. So this is your icon for animated icon, once you grab that. Now, I believe GIMP does similar thing, so you will have to, if you're using GIMP instead, you'll just have to search up online, animate in GIMP. I'm not 100% sure, I can't say that they do. If you cannot, if you don't have that option of using a program, there is a site that you can visit, and I might have to put this link in the taskbar. But if you're watching this, take down this information. This is a GIF site, easygif.com maker. If you want to use this site to make your icons, feel free. It's just a great little site that I have found to make an icon. You can change your GIF video to GIF if you've taken a video clip of your product. You can resize. There's just so much here that you can make in your little icon, animated GIF for your product. So it's similar, uses the same sort of techniques as what this does with frames and everything and tweens between them, and there's just so much that you can do with this. So write this down, just at easygif.com. If you do not have a program that, like Photoshop, that makes your GIFs, use this site. I found it to be a perfect little site to make your GIF. Basically, you're uploading an image or images. It'll make you GIF. So if I was, let's not go into my twerk dance from the other account. Let's look for where I had those two images. I'm not going to show you how to make a whole icon here. Just want to brush really quickly on uploading to this site. Now, they don't keep your images there forever. It's just for a certain amount of time. So it doesn't stay on their database. It just stays there for the amount of time that you need for your product. So I'm going to grab these two, open, upload, make it GIF. I actually haven't used this for single images. I've only ever done it for turning video into GIF. It's just sometimes I just need a really quick program to do that. Crossfade frames if you want, blah blah blah, make GIF, and it'll show you down here your GIF. This is what my image is going to look like. Similar thing to what I've done. Now it's a little bit too fast. You can optimize all this, the speed. You can optimize, you can place overlays, you can write on them, you can cut it out, you can change the frames. And then once you've got it to how you want, you just hit save. I believe you can take the background off. Some people have told me that you can take the background off. Now this is just a perfect little site to use for your GIF. GIMP is free. Let me see if I can find GIMP for you. GIMP, and it'll be the very first program that you probably use because you don't pay for it at all. Okay, so this is your GIMP program. So you just type in GIMP and it's gimp.org. You can download this. I believe, oh no, I used to have it on my old computer, but not here. I just changed, this is a new computer for the last month or so. So you just download this, load it up, and it's pretty much exactly the same. It's got so many tutorials and everything in here for it, beginner guides, tells you a lot about your program. And it opens up, let's open it up. Right, let's download it. Shouldn't take that long. I want to download it for Windows. Let's try this one. Download. Go here. It's going to take a couple minutes. It's okay, we'll leave that for now. Okay, so for my icon, got my icon file. Save for web devices. We're going to go 100. I think I already saved this, and I need it to be saved as a GIF because there's my picture when it GIFs in there, right? Okay, save. I'm going to save it to first product just here. Chill out sofa. Okay, chill out sofa, save. Let's see if this is finished yet. Okay, so let's go open file, open containing folder. So I'm just going to double click on the exe, see what happens. Yes, English, GIMP, install. installing. So while that's waiting, we're going to go back to our product. Here we go. Now we've got our icon that we just made. We need to save this out. Then we hit the upload button. We come to this little product submission tab. Lots of important information. You want to make sure that you're going to put your product in a place where it will be seen. You can put it with chairs with poses if you like, where the mesher has picked it. Sometimes the meshers is a great place to put it. But having said that, a lot of people will place it in the same spot. So you'll be competing with everybody else that's the same product as you. If what you want to do is you want to be a little bit more unique. If you're a little bit more unique, somebody else might see it in a different spot in the catalog, so you could probably go to chairs instead. That way yours is sitting somewhere else. It doesn't need to be chairs. You can put it in lounges, sofas, whatever you want to put it in. So you scroll down here, it might be Chase Lounge. Well, let's put it in Chase Lounge for now. Type the product name. Well, for me, I always add an MV in the front of my products. It's just my brand name. It's how I do it. Whatever you want to do is up to you. You don't have to put your name in it. I'm going to put Chill Out Sofa. You have a limit on how many, what you can add on here. Let's add a few dots and see how far we can go. That's pretty much as far as we can go. So you have a limit on what you can put. Okay, so sorry, I had to clear my throat again. I think I'm coming down with a cold. General audience, because it is not an adult only product. Okay, this is finished. Let's see if it's going to open it up for me. We have to finish this off anyway. So you put in the markup of how much you want this product to be. Now the mesh itself is already 715, so that's a pretty high mesh. I'm not sure why I priced it so high back then, but then again, IMVU always take a cut of 350 for every single. If I plus this, it's not going to plus, so never mind. IMVU's cut is 350, and then they have a markup fee of 65 credits. You'll see that there. And my extra fee would be included in all that. So it'll be 350 plus, I can't remember. I usually mark, something with a pose like this. It could be 200 credits or something up. And I'll get a cut every time you sell something because it's my mesh, and it's the same with every mesher. Let's just add, say 50 on there. 50 or 100. It's up to you. It's your own product. If you're pricing things too high, people are not going to buy them. If you price them too low, you could end up finding a lot of promotional sales, which is fine if you want to create a lot of products because you're using your dev tokens. Every time someone sells something, every time you sell something that people buy with free credits, which is promo credits, you get a dev token. So it's called a DT, or and you can use those instead of paying credits. It'll bring the cost down for your submissions. But there's no other real use for it. So you don't want to price it too low because you'll end up getting a lot of promotional credits, which is fine if that's what you want, because your tier points is one of the promo credits is part of, and I won't go into tier points because you'll end up getting a little confused. I'll just stick with what I'm doing here. So that's 100 credits. We'll put it to 100, and that work keeps coming up every time I start it. That's because I should have done something first before I started this program. Everything that you open, your Windows remembers of what you had last. Lucky I don't get up to too much mischief on here, or it'll be on stream. Okay, so we're looking for our icon. There's our icon. Placed in there. It must be 100 by 80 dev tokens. Yeah, did I explain that okay for you? Because I know there's a little bit of a lag in the chat to what I was saying. Let me know if it didn't get explained properly. Now here we want to put keywords in. This is really important. This is where people are searching for a product like yours. If you want it, you can add chill, chair, lounge, relax, sofa, sitting, blue pillows. As many as you can. You can add your own name, because a lot of people do search for you. MV. You can add library, because this is where this come from. You know, as many as you can, as many keywords as you can. With keywords, this is what someone will go to the catalog. Let's go here. Let's go to my IMVU. Let's shop here. Say I'm looking for lounge. And all the lounges come up. Let's make sure we are going to general only. Okay, so all the lounges turn up, right? So these are the highest selling ones that for the lounge. You know, that people have put in their keywords lounge. If you don't put in your keywords, you just won't turn up with the searches. I mean, it will turn up with it being in that lounge category, but it won't turn up with, you know, if you put your keywords in. It's most important. Put as many as you want in, put as many as you think. And that is really important for getting your product seen by people who are just doing searches. If I put... I'm going to put whatever. I'll just, you know, you get the point anyway. So you want it visible in the catalog? Yes. Allow derivations of this product. With this here, if you are deriving off somebody else's mesh, it is frowned upon to leave your item derivable. The only reason for this, why you would uncheck this, is that it's for other people, it will make the derivation chain so long. And people end up, brand new creators end up paying so much to derive. Now, Mystic Designer, she's left hers derivable. There could be a reason for that, because she is probably the mesher of this. Yes, she is. If you're the mesher of it, that's fine, you can do that. And I'm not saying that you cannot. IMVU allows people to leave their items derivable. So it's not against terms of service, but as respect for the meshers or every other creator out there, try not to leave such a long chain. If someone was to derive this product, they're taking on the weight of the product beforehand. This is the weight of the product beforehand, 380. Then it adds her textures on top, 330, to bring this to 710 kbs in weight in that room. If you were to leave your item derivable, somebody else come and derive from this. Let's have a look at the derivations of this particular one. This person here has done a no change, sort of really derived by the looks of it. It looks very much the same to me. I think she's even used her icon. Anyway, having said that, she hasn't changed anything, so it's no use giving that example. It's going to be the same weight. If, let's have a look, go back here. All these, let's look at a different one. Actually, I went to the wrong one. I needed to go to hers here. Right, this person here, have they done anything different? Yes, they have. So they have added her weight, plus she has derived it and put different textures on. So then it's her weight as well. And that's come to 854. So that is getting heavier and heavier the longer this chain happens. Not only is it getting heavier, but she has paid to derive from Mystic's 715 credits rather than her derivable product, which is only 605 credits. And that'll be, you know, she'll be paying an extra 715, so whatever that was, an extra 50 or an extra 100 credits on top. If you're driving all the time, this adds up over time, and you end up losing, you know, heaps of credits. You always want to try to go back to the base. But having said that, if you leave your item derivable and other people derive from your product, all it is doing is it's adding weight and cost on top of everything else. And to a new creator, they don't know the difference, they don't know better, they will end up deriving from that textured version, and you know, they don't get to go back to the base version, and they don't get the numbered textures, like, you know, and the information from it. They are trying to derive from your product. Now, if this girl left her item derivable as well, the chain will get longer and longer and longer and longer, and the product will get heavier and heavier. So please, if you're not the mesher of this, and I'm not saying, it's not, IMVU don't frown on it, but other creators do. And it's sort of a bit of a respect for other creators just to not leave your item derivable like that. Allow inclusion in third-party bundles. This here means that other people can bundle your product in their ranges, and there's nothing wrong with that. If they are going to like this chair and they want to add it to their bundle, let them, because whatever they sell in their catalog, you are going to make a profit from. And your icon is still in their product, your everything is still in their product. Let me go down to, for example, my bundle catalog. If I was to go here, this account is Bundle Warehouse, but all the products are from my main account. Okay, so if someone, because I pressed that particular button there, it allowed me to do that. From my Bundle Warehouse account, I was able to put all these products in a bundle on my Bundle Warehouse account. Now with this, it means that if I sell one from my bundle, if someone comes along and buys that from my Bundle Warehouse account, if they buy it now, all the sales go to my main account because they're all my main account's products. And that will happen the same with you. So if someone else, like, you could even bundle it on a different account if you wanted to. So it's up to you. I mean, you don't have to allow other people to use it, but it's just more sales for you if you do. So leave it on. Okay, so this here, see how it's got fees submission 30 dev tokens. Now, if I did not have any dev tokens on my account, like dev tokens were every time someone buys something from your account with promo credits, free credits, you get a dev token. Now, these dev tokens, they will take amount off. So it won't be everything. I think it's a total of 30 or something, but and that equals to 30 credits or something, or it might be 300 credits. I think they go for one dev token. I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember. I just sort of use them all the time. Well, you don't have a choice. If you've got dev tokens, it'll use your dev tokens first. So it'll bring your submission fee down. If you haven't made any sales, you obviously wouldn't have that. Now, the other thing comes into play is you always pay a derivation fee, and part of that always goes, it'll say here, okay, so it's not going to say here on the side. I might do another tutorial on all this anyway, the dev tokens and all about the derivations, but today I don't want to run through it all. But the higher level you are in tier, the lower your submission fees will be. So if you're a high level tier 7, you don't have to pay as much for derivations. I think it's only 200 or something credits. And as you're going down, your very first brand new person, you might end up paying, I'm not exactly sure now what it is, 400, might be 400 credits every time you submit something. So we've got this. So basically we've chosen a location, which is what it is. We've added a name. We've chosen a rating. Make sure you check to see whether from the rating guidelines what your product what it's rated as. You cannot put any adult products in a GL. If you do put it as general audience, goes through PR just fine. And then someone else flags it later on as an adult product, it could end up costing you in returns. You have to, IMVU will take the return of those sales out of your account. So you do not want to rate it wrong. Make sure you get it right. Your profit, it's already added in here. The derivation piece, paid to the creator of the product you're deriving from, plus the markup paid to IMVU equals the total price. The information is on there. Your icon, oops, I don't need to do that again. Your keywords, add keywords, and then your controls. And that explains it all there. So let's hit submit to catalog. Excuse me for one moment. Had to take a bit of a drink. My voice is getting all croaky. Okay, so this is what comes up. You've submitted the product. This is your first product. Now, it won't be shown in the catalogue yet because it has not gone through peer review. This product is unpublished. You can see it and use it, but other people can't. So if I was here, if I wanted to go to my room now, let's go to a different room. I don't know what room. I don't think I have many rooms on this account. I could have, I've got the latest rooms. Oh, let's go to the library where I was originally, where this product comes from originally. Right, here's the library. Oh, these are all put in already. Anyhow, if I wanted to go here for my chill out sofa instead, the latest product will be my chill out sofa. I can use this. I can see it, other people cannot. So if I was to make something, put it in my room, no one can see this because only me because it hasn't gone through peer review. Let's get rid of one of these. Go on. Let's add my chill out sofa in there instead. Let's turn it around a little. Let's change it back here. Right, there's my chill out sofa in there instead. Same colours, but just got written chill out instead. Right. So in order to publish this, what it does is it goes through peer review. I'm going to, and what peer review is, I'll show you in a minute. So I'm going to click here to publish. As you can see, it hasn't got any description in here down the bottom, like my other product or everybody else's product does have a bit of a description. You can go back in and put that in anytime. So that is here. Add HTML description. Place there. For me, I use a set thing that I've already done up. Catalog pages. So this is just what I've done up with my information. Well, this is no image in there. I've just written all the code that I needed. You can get a lot of different code generations. Like I said in the very first series that I did, GAF products. If I was to go to his GAF 210, I will say this time. Last time, I don't know why I said his name was 220, but I did 210, GAF 210. He wants me to call him Gaffy, so this is Gaffy's site. Here you can go here, you can go to Creator Tools, and it'll give you a lot of different, not exactly sure where he's got his goodies, HTML goodies, but you can make up a coding page for your own as well with a lot of these. I'm not going to go through a lot of these, but it'll also put out your best, best products, generators, your best selling panels. You want to add good things. And the reason why I say you want to add things in here, I'm going to just cut and paste this in here for now. Submit. You want to have extra things that people can look at, because when you get somebody who clicks on your product, on your icon, and comes into your catalog, you want them to see other things that you've made, and you want them to move forward. I mean, I know that mobile users don't see any of this, but there are still catalog users out there, and there are still people that browse by their catalog and they're by their PC. So you want other things for them to see. Sometimes it can get a bit too much, but I put all my different accounts in here, and this is just a page grab that I have grabbed off of my home page. So, and he's got this here, information that you can grab your derivables panel generator. When I see panels, it is from your home pages. So let's go to one of my home pages. I don't think, I'm hoping that I'm not carrying on here too much, but every time I keep seeing something new that I want to share. So this is what you're here. On every home page, you will see this, your new products panel. So I grabbed that information from my, where have I put that? I grabbed that information from my homepage, and I use that to the best advantage on my products. So where is my product here? So for me, it's grabbing that panel and it is placing it on the bottom here. You might end up just having the one, because you might only have the one account, but And this will change with every product you place into the catalog. See, look, there's my chill out sofa already, because and it'll only show general audience products. It will not, your page will only show general audience, because if it's a GA product and it's a GA page, it should only show GA products, which it does. So there's the chill out sofa already in there, showing up on my catalog, even though I haven't put it through peer review yet. The icon will show up there. Once it goes through, it's already in peer review. It might have already finished. Let's have a look. Nope, still there. As a brand new account, it'll take a little bit longer to go through peer review, because sometimes brand new accounts actually get sent to customer service to get reviewed first. Once you get a reputation up and your products have been, never had an issue with, well, then it just goes through peer review with everybody else. Let's have a look at this peer review, and I'm hoping that I'm not going to act. Oh, see, we're going to skip this product. Let's get a. See, because I'm at adult pass, it's not going to let me. There we go. We got a rated one, right? Okay, so general audience. So this is other creators or other people on IMVU rating your product for you. It has to have 3 reviews before it'll get sent through peer review. Now, a lot of new players, I think you still earn free credits for doing peer review. Can't be 100% sure. It sort of changes over the years. Sometimes you earn a lot, sometimes you don't. I can't remember. Might be something you have to look up, or somebody else will have to answer. But for doing peer review, your product will go through this peer review system, and it will be reviewed by 3 other people in IMVU. What they'll do is they'll click this. It'll open up your peer review section. I think it was shoes. There you go. There's her shoes. Oh, they're very pretty shoes. Look at that. The little spiky things on the back. Sometimes people will have information in here. The best thing about putting your catalog information in here before you do peer review is that people can click on things while they're doing your peer review as well. If you don't have anything in there, if you just put it through peer review without any description in this box at all, they've got nothing. They can't go to your catalog. They can't see this product. They can't go and buy this product or wish list it. So you really want to try and put something in here that people can click to get to your catalog. You can add it to wish list now. I never knew that. See, it shows how much time I don't do peer review that much anymore these days. Just never have time. But you can add it to wish list by the looks of this if you like that product. They never used to have that there, as far as I know, last time I checked. So people will bring your product in here. Now there'll be 3 peer reviews that it'll have. And I believe you can see your history. Oh, that's my history. Oh, here we go. There you go. These are things in that I have peer reviewed in the past. It'll show you your pending votes, completed votes, correct or incorrect. If you get a lot of incorrect peer reviews, you will not be allowed to peer review anymore. Oops, don't want to have a look at those bottom ones, because they might be AP stuff. Okay, so this is what peer review is, and you'll have 3 people reviewing your product. Once they have reviewed your product, it'll show, let's see, add as passed peer review. Perfect. I'm not sure whether it'll show you the results of it. No, it just goes straight into peer review again. I used to be able to see somewhere where it shows you results in the past. I'm not sure if it does that somewhere different now, but you used to be able to have a look to see not who voted for it, but you used to be able to see how many, as it progresses. You used to be able to see 1 vote, yes, it's passed, still waiting on 2 votes, but I can't see that anymore. Okay, so that's your first product in your catalog. It will take a little while to show up in that main set. Oh, well, it's already showing up for me. So it'll take a little while to show up sometimes in here, but once it does, and for other people, it'll also take a little bit longer to show up. And there's your product ready to sell. And your icon done. So that's pretty much basically it, what I wanted to show you today. Just your very first product. Get it out there. Get it in the catalog. and then you just go from there, and you can derive as many as you like. See, it's taken credits off me. I think I had 20 on there. Now I've only got, certain. So your credits will go down lower and lower. I never have that many credits at all on my accounts because I change all my accounts to income. So yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to show you today. Have any questions, Blaze? Do you need to know anything else before I finish up? I'm just going to, there's a GIMP. We were going to look at this GIMP, weren't we? What have I done? I'll just run through this GIMP while well, not run through it, but I'll have a look at it. GIMP. It's been a while since I've used GIMP, and apparently it's changed a lot. Apparently it's getting a lot like Photoshop in a lot of things that they do. There's so many people that use GIMP though. It's a free program. To me it looks pretty similar. Let's open it up. Nice looking interface now compared to what it used to be. You've got your layer stack here by the looks of it. Sure, no problem. Oh, actually, I won't have time. I have to go and pick up kids. I've already run over time today. I have to go and pick up kids in about 10 minutes, so I won't have time. Maybe after that when I get back. So it looks to me like as if GIMP is pretty much the same here. If you've got your layer panel by the looks of it. Open a texture. I don't know. I'm not going to relearn this, but yeah, this is a lot of lessons, everything. This is free to use. Photoshop is not free to use. You have to pay for it. Photoshop, obviously, you get what you pay for, but GIMP is apparently a very powerful program and it's getting bigger and bigger. Who knows whether in the future you'll end up having to pay for it. I don't know. It's something that might happen. Sometimes a lot of free programs end up having to pay for them. So okay, so I'm going to end this stream now. Hope you all learnt a little bit of something. Hope you get your first products out there. I'll love to check out your first products. I can give a bit of feedback if you want. And I don't know why I've got 7 days to die written on the whole thing. Sorry about that. It was not supposed to be there through this whole stream. Whoops, I just saw it then. That is for my gaming that I play. Sitting up there on the top, that should have said MV, not 7 days to die. I told you I was unprepared today. That's one of my games that I used to play. I can't remember how to turn it off now. What do we got here? Edit. Gone. Well, it's a bit late now, but goodbye. And put this one on. That's what you're supposed to see. It's too late now. I was a little bit unprepared. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with that. Catch you next week around about the same time. If I get back on after I pick up these kids from school, I will come find you, Blaze, but otherwise maybe tomorrow or something. I'll check out your work or your room. Okay, bye for now. Thanks for watching.